I know.
That guy seems like he's in charge of them. I don't know. I don't feel very good about this.
We have to report this.
Yes, absolutely.
Get more this fall in Sylacauga with the power of 3. Tony Sarah Ford, Sarah Honda, and Sarah Nissan. The time to buy is now, with more value and selection.
Long before we became a new car dealer, we were a used car dealer, and we know used cars better than anyone. Sarah has hard-to-find inventory arriving daily from around the country, with over 1,200 pre-owned cars and trucks to choose from.
Tony Sarah Ford, Sarah Honda, and Sarah Nissan of Sylacauga, serving Alabama since 1981.
Sears, he'll push wide open, and a flush. What a start for the Tide.
Jared will drive into the lane. A lot of pass, Bediako, and they got no answer for him right now. Sears drives by him, gets underneath the basket, whips a pass outside. Cloudy steps into a three, bottom. Rebounded by Rylan Griffin. He'll push it ahead. Beautiful pass. Miller, the flush. What a pass by Rylan Griffin.
Welcome back to Tide TV this week. So those are our ATI Plays of the Week. Now let's take a look at our Players of the Week brought to you by Legacy of Hope. Brandon Miller led the Tide as they dominated Kentucky in Coleman Coliseum this past Saturday. Miller had a team-high 19 points and grabbed a game-high 7 rebounds in the Tide's 78-52 win.
Mark Sears also scored in double digits in wins over Kentucky and Arkansas. Sears scored 16 points to go along with 6 rebounds and had game highs of 4 assists and 6 steals in the win over the Wildcats. And against Arkansas, Sears just scored a season-high 26 points to lead the Crimson Tide to victory over the 15th-ranked Razorbacks.
Tide Hoops is filling the stat sheets, and you know who else is? Charles Bediako. He was instrumental in shutting down the reigning National Player of the Year, Oscar Tshiebwe. Bediako helped hold Tshiebwe scoreless in the first half and just 4 points for the game. Bediako finished with 9 points, 6 rebounds, 2 blocks, and 2 assists.
Brittany Davis led the Crimson Tide to a blowout win over the Auburn Tigers down on the Plains. Davis had a game-high 24 points on 10 of 15 from the floor in Alabama's 88-57 win over Auburn.
Talk about scoring at will. Next, Luisa Blanco led the 7th-ranked Alabama in the Tide season-opening win over 12th-ranked Michigan State. Blanco won the all-around with a 39.575, taking first place on beam with a 9.9 and a floor exercise with a 9.925. Congratulations to our Legacy of Hope Players of the Week. Another big week for the Crimson Tide, man.
Yes, it was, Kenzie. A great start to 2023 for the Tide.
It was. Thanks for watching. We hope to see you back here next week for another episode of Tide TV This Week.
Have a great weekend, everyone. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
This has been a presentation from Learfield.
I need the King boys.
Don't call 2 clowns in a tow truck when you're dreaming of them King boys.
Yeah, I'm watching it too. I see them every day.
Curtains. They're always drawn in this place.
I know.
That guy seems like he's in charge of them. I don't know. I don't feel very good about this.
We have to report this.
Yes, absolutely.
We are live here from Supreme Courts in Guntersville, Alabama for a big-time matchup. HycheHoops.com My name is Bart. We've been here before, and I have a special partner with me tonight, Mr. Bo Starkey, founder of Average Joe's Sports Talk. I know everybody sees that out across the state of Alabama. So, Bo, I'm excited to be here. I hope you are. What do you think about all this, man?
The first thing that jumps out to me is the facility here that Jonathan Hyche provides. It's second to none, whether it be basketball, volleyball, whatever it is. To team up with Hyche Hoops is very huge for me, and not only me, but Average Joe's as well. And to see these two teams, two Final Four teams last year, both came out of the North, one came out of the Northwest Regional, one came out of the Northeast Regional, but to represent the north side of the state last year in 4 and 3A, it's amazing to see these two teams on the court tonight. It's going to be unbelievable.
It is going to be unbelievable. And, you know, they actually have played a couple of times in the summer with Susan Moore taking one of them, the last one on an offensive rebound, and then New Hope making a three to win last summer. But, you know, talking about this area, and you can see behind us Senator Clay Schofield. We would love to thank him for sponsoring this game tonight. Big sponsor on Waverly. But as we were talking before, it's just so important to have these things, you know, and have this, you know, the local community can come out, different teams, boys, girls, but we want to have state title contenders. And what makes these two teams, Bo, state title contenders in your estimation?
The first thing that jumps out to me is they're not scared to play one another. They're not scared to play that competition. I've seen both of these teams play this year. I've seen them play Spring Garden earlier this year. So that's the first thing. Then the next thing that jumps out is a neutral site. Where do we agree to play this at? You have to have a facility like this to house a game like that, because this is not a normal game. And the third thing is, why would you not do this if you're one of these two teams who were in the Final Four last year? You want that environment, to create that environment during the regular season, so that when you do get into the tournament and those lights come on and you do got 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 fans watching, you don't get shell-shocked.
And I think, great point, and these girls want this smoke. They want to play against each other. You know, they're ready for this moment, and it's just continuing to grow. But, you know, you mentioned Supreme Courts. I mentioned Average Joe's. You know, just have become social media giants. Hyche Hoops is growing. Are we really connecting the state of Alabama right now, especially North Alabama, with basketball?
When you get to the point where these young ladies and young men start sharing all this content together, that's how you connect. Yes. And that's happening on a organically grown level. When you see Callie Yarborough taking pictures with Ace Austin after games, or Callie or Lainey Smallwood taking pictures with Callie Yarborough or Jada Bates, then that's how that happens. You got two teams in two different parts of the state, but they have a mutual respect for one another. And coaches, you know, McGill and Coach Smallwood, that's how you do that. That's how you grow that bridge. And you got to have a lot of grinders behind the scenes, such as yourself and many others. But
yourself as well.
Yeah, I try my best, but that's how that happens.
Big shout out to Shooters Paradise as well. Brian Dominic was very instrumental in putting this game together. You did mention Ricky Austin, some consider a GOAT. He and his daughter Ace sitting down at the end tonight. She's one of the top players in the state. But let's talk about a few of these. You know, just a few of these players. You know, you see Callie Smallwood there, Callie and Lainey for New Hope. We will highlight our players to watch in just a minute. But Susan Moore, led by Callie and Lainey Smallwood, just an extension of their basketball family. Natasha Smallwood, talked to her yesterday, and she just talked about how they are that family, and it continues to just grow, and they just live and breathe basketball. And why are those two sisters so impressive to you?
I think it's the environment they grew up with their mom. They grew up in an athletic environment. Their dad's also a really well-respected coach. And I actually spent the day out in the summer on the lake with actually, you know, you talk about connecting the state. We were with Olivia's dad.
Oh yeah, love
we were
Shane
Mr. Vandergrift. Shane Vandergrift.
Good dude.
And we were out on the lake with the Smallwoods.
Yeah.
And so it's a family environment. But here's what people fail to realize: they put in not normal hours of work.
That's correct.
Let's say 40 hours of normal hour work. They're up around the 60, 70 range if we were talking on those kind of scales. They work their tails off, and they've earned everything they got. It's not because they're who their mom is or who their dad is. These two young ladies right here that you see, we'll see featured tonight, are grinders, my friend.
They are, and for the New Hope Lady Indians, Coach McGill had a great conversation with him yesterday. High energy guy, feels like his team, as you look at Lainey Smallwood on your screen, she's one of the top freshmen, maybe the quickest twitch freshman I've seen in a long time, and she's got that left, as you see Natasha Smallwood as well. But talking to Coach McGill from New Hope, his team, they have a freshman piece, they have a sophomore piece, and then they're surrounded with a bunch of seniors who have been through it. One of those seniors in particular, Lauren Busby, tore ACL, just now getting back into that player form that she was last year. Tell me about these New Hope Lady Indians and what makes them so special.
You hit the nail on the head. They have those steady senior players that's been there and done that, but they have two dynamite underclassmen to the point of they're both offered by multiple different schools. One only being in 9th grade, one only being in 10th grade. I've never, and
there's Jada Bates on your screen.
Jada Bates, as you see. When people, if you walked in the gym and you seen Jada Bates warming up, you would think, she might be pretty good at basketball. You'd never think she got an offer because of her height. But you haven't seen the ball pressure she
I'll tell you who she reminds
maybe the
me
most
of.
intense in the state.
I love where you're going with that. And her name is escaping me at this point. I've only seen them once, but Sulligent has a point guard in 2A, and I'll get her name in a minute because it is so similar to, and I want to see that tonight, because that young lady right there, Jada Bates, can completely take over and control it. Especially in the back court. I think you will see New Hope press tonight. They like to get up and down. And I talked to Coach Smallwood about it, and she doesn't really, the pressure, that doesn't really bother her. She feels like that all her teams can pass and dribble, or all her players can pass and dribble, and especially a big key to this game, a little sneaky hint, I want to see how Lainey Smallwood attacks that pressure in the middle of the court with her left. When she's getting downhill, and can she get to the other free throw line and get jump shots? And then will they beat it with the pass? Bo's going to get out of here right quick and go do our starting lineups. And I think we're going to take a break real quick, folks. We will be back in about 5 minutes, and we will rock our players to watch and get into this game. It's just going to be a really, really, really good game. So we will take a break, and we'll see you from Supreme Court shortly. Welcome back, Hoopers. About ready to get started. 4A New Hope versus 3A Susan Moore. New Hope, number 4 in some polls, number 3 in others. Susan Moore, number 2 in 3A. Good job, Bo. I thought you did an excellent job on the. It's the first time you ever done it?
Ever. Yeah, it's kind of.
You just absolutely can't hide talent, can you?
No.
You just absolutely cannot hide talent, folks.
I can't eat a lot. I can't lie about that.
As we got Lauren Busby jumping for New Hope, and out of the gate right to Jada Bates, and here is that pressure we talked about. Bo, your starting lineups: Kaylee LeBon, Jada Bates, Lauren Busby, McKinley McKeel, and Kaylee Yarbrough for New Hope, Lacey Floyd, Kaylin Hill, Lainey Smallwood, Marissa Brown, and Callie Smallwood for Susan Moore. We're into action.
That's huge.
Foul trouble, always a key. And Callie Smallwood is physical. Basketball, just pedigree and tough. And that time just looked like she was a little too strong, and the referee didn't allow her to do it.
Very interesting to see how they call this game early.
Very good point, partner. And it always is. Who gets in the bonus first? Who gets the most free throw makes? Defense by Susan Moore. Yarbrough with a nice look off the jump stop.
Look at that ball pressure.
Oh, and Lainey Smallwood gets back cut. Just kind of got out of position a little bit. And here's the thing that Susan Moore wants to speed Susan Moore up, especially the non-Smallwoods.
What you've seen right there is you've seen a matchup that Susan Moore does not want. Lainey Smallwood on Lauren Busby down low. You're talking about near a 6'1" girl versus Lainey, who's a freshman. That's not a matchup that Susan Moore wants to be called in.
It is not, and we do have a timeout. Did not get the signal on who called it. Looks like it was Susan Moore. Natasha Smallwood was not happy with what she saw, as it's 4-0 New Hope. Shout out again to Senator Clay Schofield for being the biggest part of us being here tonight to do this game. Couldn't do without him. District 9, DeKalb, Marshall, Blunt, and Madison. He is your Alabama Senate Majority Leader. Thanks, Clay. Talk to you at the half. Here goes New Hope into their weave action. How do they need to attack this pressure, Bo?
It's interesting because what you're seeing right now, they're doing a lot of, you know, like you said, weave. They're trying to create those mismatches, which they had on the last series with Lauren Busby had Lainey on her back, 1 foot from the ball. Again, same thing.
Kaylee Yarbrough's behind the back dribble under control to get into her next. I mean, she sets it. She can shoot it. She can cross it. That time, behind the back, crossover, great look. But I like the movement of New Hope as well. When the dribbler has the ball, they constantly go block to block.
Yeah, then you've seen Kaylee LeBon hit. As we mentioned that, right on cue, we see Callie Small with her back to the basket to answer.
That's just too deep. If Callie Smallwood catches it there, she's putting you in a blender. It's over. And she caught it right in the middle of the lane down by the volleyball middle.
For those of you watching at home, Callie Smallwood is as advertised, very physical. It looks like she could walk on the stage in a fitness contest today.
Absolutely. And she has great balance. She's a great shooter. Yes, she's somewhat of a post player, but she's an excellent shooter. We'll talk about her balance later. 6-2, as you can see. Yeah, they're really attacking those elbows, getting to jump stops, and then running cutters off. As you see Busby, the senior, there's another back cut. Their back cuts are giving Susan more problems.
They are, and I think that's why Natasha called that timeout. At that time, it's unfortunate New Hope threw it away, but again, it's not New Hope's getting the looks that they want.
Well, I like what Coach McGill's done in the fact of to offset that pressure back cutting. It looks like to me, as you see the long pass coming out, the trigger, that's an and one, on the floor. Okay, ish. Maybe we let that one go. I don't know. You know I'm pro ref. I'm pro official. You don't know, y'all. Anybody? I'm pro official.
You know we are.
But I am gonna have to take up for Big Dub because Dub is not pro official. My teammate from high school. He's not a fan of the official.
He's not a pro official.
He is not pro official. But the back cut trigger. Watch this on this end this time, Bo. The trigger is when the New Hope player sees the back of the defender's head as you see this drive coming in, and it was a really nice charge take by New Hope. Keel looking inside for Busby. There's a turnover.
No relation to Carrington Keel. Different spelling.
Different spelling.
Both outstanding players.
I would agree. Carrington Keel is one of my favorite players.
Top 5 in the state.
Yeah, man, he's a good player. Yeah, I think you're going to start seeing Susan Moore try to hit some runouts too.
I think so.
Smallwood can make that pass, and here she comes in the open. Oh my goodness, what a look! Smallwood to Smallwood.
That is how you draw it up, my friends. And you talked about her balance.
Great balance.
But we call her the spark plug in pregame lineups because did you just see what Jada Bates did to answer?
I did.
Look at the ball pressure.
And Alicia Johnson is the point guard. I'd like to thank Mal Mallory, Northwest Alabama friend of mine, and his recruiting service for that update through text. But yeah, it's similar, but man, I'm telling you, Jada Bates, with the ball in her hands, not only is she super quick, she's already strong as a freshman. These freshman point guards are really good.
Multiple offers already. And we watched her play against Ace Austin earlier this year in a neutral site for the two teams. It was at Sylvania in the tournament, and that was a fantastic matchup. And I'm telling you, she went toe-to-toe with Ace for 2.5 to 3 quarters until Ace became Ace. And just said, I'm the best.
If you go toe-to-toe with Ace Austin in any quarter, folks, that is you've done
very
something.
well. And we say that as she's over our left shoulder.
And she's just going to continue to get better. As Callie Smallwood, you see that stroke, but watch how she gets her triple threat position is always there on every shot, on every jump stop. Just so fundamental how she's been taught.
What do you think the dinner table's like with the Smallwoods?
How many games do you think are on? Do you think there's like a computer, everybody's got their own computer and a different game on? That's what I think.
She hadn't exploded yet, but you know Yarbrough's coming.
Susan Moore's doing a good job on the board so far, Bo. They are down, but they're holding their own. That was one thing we thought maybe New Hope's good rebounding quickness, if you will, would give them some problems, and it hasn't so far.
And length. Outside of Jada Bates, you got almost all 6-foot girls are
long.
Ball range is 6 foot.
Oh, side screen. I love that play. Yes.
Look at that.
That's just great spacing and great movement. That's just really coached up offense. Got to make the bunny, though. Hill, the senior. Over to Floyd. Floyd, nice move. Floyd averaging 10, 5, and 2. Couldn't get that one to go, and here comes Yarbrough the other way. I like her control. First time I saw her this summer a little, but I mean, she knows how to play. You can tell that she plays pickup.
She can go, my friend, and she has improved in the weight room tremendously, which was her weakness last year.
Look at that block out. Great block out.
It's getting in there and getting a rebound.
Good block out by Kaylee LeBon. Spin cycle.
Bart, let me ask you this. What's the energy you see right now? I see a lot of energy on this bench over here at New Hope.
I see the body language. I see the bench in the game. Everybody clapping. Everybody getting that, getting into each play. I wouldn't. The aggressor in this game definitely would be the Lady Indians right now.
I agree with that 100%. Here's the scary part about this game. We're sitting here at a 9-5 with Jada shooting another free throw, potentially be 10-5. Kaylee hasn't scored yet. That's scary.
It is, and I love what she's done, though, to create. You know, I tell young kids all the time, man, get your teammates involved as well, and then get yourself going. I'd love to see her get to the free throw line, because that's why I watched her this summer. She made a couple of free throws midway through the second quarter and then ran off 3 threes in a row and got that stroke going. I want to see that stroke tonight, too. You got to throw it in there to Smallwood. She's got position when she's got a smaller player on her. But Jada is doing a great job on Laney right now, too. That's an illegal screen.
You gotta watch frustration right here. I hope
that's a good call.
Laney's got to keep her head on straight right here because you're not going to find another player in the state that Laney's going to face this year that puts that type ball pressure. And when you're down and you're losing like this early and that ball pressure's coming, the frustration can set in. Laney, although she's young, she's got to play through that.
I would totally agree, and that's we talked about. That's why you play these games, so it happens now, and it doesn't happen. And that's filthy right there, man. That's
you see Jada Bates again, this time with the left-handed teardrop.
Inside out.
And then you see that other girl score.
Look at that balance. Great balance.
She's good.
That's a senior stepping up and making a shot when her team had to have it, but she shot prepared with her legs and with her feet and got behind the three-point line, caught a perfect triple threat bucket.
Bart, you mentioned it earlier. She hit that shot before she ever touched the
100%.
Because the way she called it. In rhythm, triple threat, great balance. Follow through's nothing to her. You called that earlier. Great call on that. But it's every time she touches.
It's every time. I mean, and that's the thing. You hear coaches talk about free throws all the time. Make it the same, make it the same. All of her jump shots look virtually the same from a balance standpoint. That's why so many of them go in. Big one.
Oh, big one for her.
Big one. And how about Callie Smallwood? Probably could have heat checked it, but turned to her sister for the three. As we take a quick timeout, 1:29 to go. Susan Moore with a small run. As you look here, Callie Smallwood, that's pretty deep. 26 feet for
NBA.
the freshman. And she needed that one. Like I said, you can see the body language, kind of a little frustration. And a lot of times you will see frustration happen when you're playing against a point guard like Jada. So, looks like we got a little Hyche's hints possibly coming up. And Susan Moore, well, first off, it's brought to you by Old Waverly. I'm sorry, Hyche's hints today. I just caught the camera. And for the New Hope Lady Indians, they got to turn this pressure up. They've done that some, but turn up on offense too. Win the trash points. They're doing that so far, especially in the open court. And Kaylee Yarbrough blocked by Laney Smallwood. Yeah, Susan Moore's turned it up a little bit.
She's good. She's so good.
She's doing whatever she wants to right now, man. And that was that was our. Susan Moore's having a hard time at just keeping her from getting wherever she wants to go. And I like this matchup. That's a good creation there. Gotta get a hand up. She can make a lot of those. That's her favorite spot on that left wing. She loves that spot.
She's making up for the twos that Jada's getting with the threes that she's getting.
I think you're going to see some of that. I think you're going to see a back and forth, heavyweight bout, a lot of blows, stand and take a couple.
A la Rocky
stand
and
in
the Russian.
100%, man. So I like Coach McGill here making sure he goes into the first quarter, or the end of the first quarter, with the lead or up points. Double screen. That's just all Jada Bates. Excellent. Double screen for Kaylee Yarbrough, and then you just let Bates create for the three. 3 points. New Hope.
Used Kaylee Yarbrough as a diversion.
100%. Well, what happens a lot of times like that, I remember, anytime you have all that screening action going, there's so much attention to the help. It creates one-on-one opportunities. So that just basically became a two-person game between a shooter and a point guard. And if you can just get and create any help, and the reason the help was created is because what Jada Bates has been doing.
Coach McGill spacing was everything.
We're going to take a quick break, and we will be back for the second quarter. 17-14, New Hope executing in Guntersville. Be right back. Laney Smallwood with a couple of big shots to get her team back in it. Number 12 has the ball now. Over to her sister Callie, looking for a back cut. Didn't get it. Floyd pitches out to Bryan and back to Smallwood. She's heating up.
Here we
Three
go.
of them.
Here we go.
As advertised, this matchup between the two freshman point guards, Jada Bates and Laney Smallwood, is not disappointing as we got a chippy out on the on the court for Marissa Bryan.
I tell you what, I'm going to shake Marissa Bryant's hand after this game because the job she's done on Kaylee Yarbrough thus far. She's scoreless in the first, although she did create a few baskets. She hasn't put the ball in the hole herself. So Marissa Bryant with tremendous ball pressure.
I think it's a great point, and right now she's going to get a break. Going to bring in Cesar Hernandez to get that cover on Kaylee Yarbrough. Let's see if Yarbrough tries to exploit that. 3 points for Ballar. No good. Here comes Laney Smallwood.
Eyes up, controlling the ball. She does not look like a freshman.
She does, and Jada Bates did a great job that time keeping her out of the lane. Not many people can do that. To Laney Smallwood. Here's their wheel action. Susan Moore ran it so much in that game against Prattville Christian. Gave them trouble. Look at the left. Good pass inside that time by senior Caitlin Hill. Excellent hands by Callie Smallwood.
How strong is Callie Smallwood? She's off balance, left-handed, hits it with ease.
I'll tell you one other thing she has. We talked about her feet. She's got great hands.
Great.
She just put her paw up there and got that one. It was great. And here goes Ballar again. Missed one. That is her spot. And we've got a push on Busby. Busby doesn't need to get in foul trouble. You see number 14 there. She is, her and 4, Kaylee LeBon, as you see coming in the game now, they are the glue.
Yep.
You know, that's what Coach McGill said. He said, I've got 2 glue players, and they're both seniors. And so they lead and they create the expectation, and these young guards just go out and play.
And Busby coming off a severe knee injury, so it's great to see her back in action.
Hernandez for Floyd. Throws it away, and here comes New Hope in transition. Keel. Good take. Foul on Floyd.
Let me say something else. This is something that Ace Austin definitely excels in. Yarbrough has become a very dominant defender. Have you seen her been scored on in this game as well? She's long, she's rangy, but she works on that end. She puts in a lot of work on
Well, it means something. And someone has taught her, in the same as you look at Coach McGill, he probably has a lot to do with that. Basketball is different than football. You have to play on both sides of the court. You don't have to do it. And I mean, I played football, and it was my favorite sport. And I played defense, too. But at the same time, you don't have to do that at the next level. In basketball, you do.
You do.
It's all about who you can guard, man.
That's right. And she does a fantastic job.
Wow, that's a charge taken. Stays in there. Kaylee LeBon. And that's a tough rule. The official is actually correct. The HSA wants that charge called under the basket. I don't necessarily agree with it. Some officials will not call it, but it is a point of emphasis. And I hope we don't see a call like that later in the year. Not getting on the officials, just saying we need a circle. That's all I'm saying.
I agree. And just as we were talking, here she goes.
She's taking it. She saw an opening that she didn't see earlier when Marissa Bryan was on her. Just a little bit of daylight bucket. Laney Smallwood, and that one looked good too.
That one was
a hook and hold.
Laney Smallwood.
We're gonna have a hook and hold here. It's not a hook and hold in high school. It would be in college. We might have to go to the monitor. We have a hook and hold. No hook and holds in high school basketball. Having some fun with Senator Schofield and Brian Dominic behind us. Two of the good guys.
Oh, look at this.
That's D1.
That is D1, my friend.
That's D1.
But guess what? We have 3 more seasons after this one before she even talks about it.
I mean, that's just rock your defender back and see what's happening, and then I'm so quick I can get to mine whenever I want to. That's big time, big time.
Bart,
so here goes Jada Bates.
To defend as quick as her hands and feet are when she's hitting that.
Man,
Come on now.
That's one of those that's just, I mean, there's no, and then look at this right back at you. And this is the one thing I think that you will see, and that's what, sometimes it's difficult to give someone as quick as Jada Bates that much room, and she could still go by you. A guy named God Shamgod back in the day reminded me of that. I saw that up close. But the one thing, if Jada Bates becomes a knockdown shooter, it is, and she can make some shots. But that will be deadly. Like you said, the next 3 years, they're going to get better at all these things.
If Laney's shooting like she is tonight, and she's already quick, some of the quickest hands and feet I've seen. Twitch,
Well, I'm
talking
telling
about
you.
Twitch in the pregame.
But
when she puts all that together,
Dominic told me, like, he said, you got to see, and I started paying attention and watching and whatever. And then after the season, you know, she's one of those kids that we're going to get in the gym with her some. You know, a lot of people know here at Supreme Courts and we do trainings, and it's just going to connect Alabama, North Alabama, as you see Kaylin Hill at the free throw line. But I want to get her coming off screens. I want to get her off the footwork, of the bouncy footwork, just quick twitch stuff, shot fakes here, there, because Laney Smallwood's got some stuff you can't teach, bro.
and I'm
She
going to
just
throw this
does.
at you. The biggest X factor of them all. You ready for this one? She's left-handed also.
I do, 100%. People only guard it 10% of the time.
That's right.
That's why I went left all the time. That's what my daddy taught me.
All that
100%. Got to be better. Oh, my. Callie with a great recovery. And see, young kids out there on that transfer of a ball screen, Jada Bates control freeze dribble, saw where the defender was, and then accelerated, but got that controlled dribble, which is so important. Great extra pass back. There's Pilar.
On that last play,
Another
though,
back
Mark,
cut.
not many females, to Jada's credit, not many females in Alabama is going to make that defensive play like Callie did.
Look at that balance, man. It's a good pass up. Yeah, and I'm going to tell you something, man. Floyd, last year in that state tournament, man, Floyd had to battle against Coco and from Prattville.
Prattville Christian.
Prattville Christian.
You're going to...
yes.
The one that's going to Memphis?
Yes.
Yes. So Memphis volleyball. Come here. Look at this.
Just a stop-start. Laney Smallwood is in her bag right now. She is in her bag. And New Hope takes a timeout as Laney Smallwood and Susan Moore with a spurt. They're up 6. Laney Smallwood, look at her bow right here, come down the court. Watch this stop and start. Oh, she just baited her right in, but the ability to get to the jump stop and finish and not get to the charge.
How about not settling for that 3?
After you've made 4.
Yeah.
The thing about Laney is, and this is what I love so much, she doesn't know how good she is.
No.
You know what I mean? I mean, like, you're starting to see it happen. Like, that last 3 she made, she knew it was a good one. She knew, but she's going to become a scorer.
Yes.
When she becomes a scorer with that left hand, and it's just going to be fun to watch. There's so much talent in Northeast Alabama. You know, that's what I've told a lot of people. We'll be in Northwest Alabama, Hyche Hoops Wheel tomorrow night for the Marion County Tournament Final, and you will not see the same level of basketball. You won't see the same level of basketball in that game as you see here, and it's just the fundamentals are, and it's kind of somewhat always been like that, wouldn't you think? Is that what you see, you know, with average Joes? I mean, that basketball is super important in Northeast Alabama?
It is, man. And I don't know why this is. Maybe even more so on the girls' side of things. I think on the girls' side of things,
100% girls.
I
Yes.
mean, these girls, I've never seen anything like these girls in a high school environment.
I just kind of, the Lord kind of just dropped me into it, and it showed me that, like, man, this is this is high level, man, and like, but that's what I want to be around. You know, I want to be around that there. So I got to set.
You can't give her an inch.
Set for McGill. Coach McGill trying to. Oh my.
Oh.
Yeah, she's having a little. I mean, it's good defense by Hernandez, though.
Oh, fantastic.
You know, she's right there. She contests. I mean, you know, that's not a shot many 10th graders are allowed to shoot.
No.
Oh, you can't leave this one.
No. Oh. You can't leave her tonight.
No. Out of bounds. Let's see what Coach Smallwood comes up with here. I like their out-unders. A lot of attention to detail out of Coach Natasha Smallwood. Always trying to score on the inbounds plays. There you go, point blank. Got the look she wanted, though. Hill just a little, Floyd just a little off balance.
Or do they call it on New Hope?
Looks like Callie Smallwood, and we are in a bonus situation for both teams now. So Callie Smallwood, young kids out there, look at her balance on the free throw line. It's textbook. Same routine every day. And I jinxed her, of course. My bad,
Like
Callie.
clockwork.
One of the best calls, and it was crazy because it got cut off last year at the state. But when they went 1-4 low, and she took it to overtime. Yep. We were having some technical difficulties, and man, I was gearing it up. I was getting ready to go. Nothing. And it just went out, and Callie and I have talked about it. I said, well, you know what? If we get one of those tonight, it's not going to go out, and we'll
Rick
get it.
Boy and I was on the baseline when she did that, and I was like, there was nobody in the whole building didn't know she wasn't taking that shot.
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
And I'm telling you, man, she performed. What did she have, 38 in the final?
Yes, 36, 38, something like that.
Somewhere around there.
So let's see what up 6. Looks like Natasha Smallwood is going to try to cheat a little. Bit of clock, still 5 seconds, 7 seconds.
Caitlin Hill's a really good player, too, so you got to keep an eye on her. She hasn't scored yet tonight, but she's a general.
She's a glue.
Yep.
She's a glue player. Everybody, all teams need one. And I love what Susan Moore did in that possession. Ran off about 30 seconds and then extended the lead to 9. Excellent offense by the Bulldogs.
When you got Callie out there hitting threes, man, this is a dangerous club to guard, man. You have to pick your poison somewhere.
When you've got those two, and then there's an answer needed, a very needed shot by Jada Bates. But when you have the two Smallwood sisters who can shoot it at the clip that they do, and Lacey Floyd, who's not afraid to step out right on cue.
Wow, what an answer.
You just, they're never out of a game.
They're deep, man.
Never out of a game, and they can score in
deep.
bunches.
Lacey Floyd, another senior.
I like Jada Bates taking that. You know, they're going to make her take some of them, and if she continues to take them, makes a couple of them, then she can just continue to drive. But if I'm Natasha Smallwood, I want Jada Bates taking that shot.
I agree, especially out of that situation.
Yes, look at that good decision to not throw it ahead and turn it over until Laney was ready. Excellent job by Hill. Hill's running this thing.
Oh, yeah, she is, man. She's a senior, and she's kind of a general on this team, man, from a point guard type standpoint.
And I love what Natasha Smallwood's doing here, running the clock, making sure she's going to have at least 7, 8, 10-point lead at the half. I think more coaches should do that, Bo. It's just
especially with no shot clock.
Well, the thing is, it's like, all right, you're a big football guy too. Why would teams not just run the clock, the play clock down every single time? I mean, people don't do that stuff nearly enough, in my opinion.
Not to change this over to a football conversation while we see her at the line right here, but Coach Benefield, that 5 offense is made to limit your offensive position.
100%.
It's not made to score. It's made for you not to have the ball.
Period.
And that's right. And you have no shot clock.
Cesar Hernandez with the free throw miss could have extended the lead to 10. So now New Hope. Looks like they're going to.
I think Caitlin Hill's backing off her on purpose here to
yes,
see, bait her into that.
100%. I don't.
You think she wants her to take that top of the key three?
I wouldn't want her coming up driving on me.
Let's see.
It's 1-4 low double baseline, whichever block she goes in, then it's a 1-on-1 for a pitch. It's a great, I love it. And it's like, and the last time they ran to the other side and got it on the left, they got the 3. So that's 2 times in a row, end of clock. New Hope going to get 5 points out of it, or no, 3 for sure, possibly 5 points.
Coach McGill's a fantastic coach, man. Got a great beard, too. You got to give his beard props.
Hey, I do like his beard. I was trying to trim up earlier, and I thought I'd made a really bad disaster. Yeah, it could have been bad, so I'm a little shorter than usual. But yeah, his beard looks good, man.
Fantastic.
Beard game, 100%. So the momentum has changed in the second quarter, and the Lady Bulldogs have taken the lead. Big free throw here by Jada Bates. She goes 1 of 2, 8 points. Let's see how Laney Smallwood going to get to the middle. She's made 4 of them. No good. Woo. The end of the half. And your score. The ladies in purple, 33. The ladies in blue, 25. Susan Moore ahead. Hyche will be right back with Senator. The man of the moment, Clay Schofield, will join us. And we'll talk to him about what's going on in the state of Alabama. See you in a minute. We'll be right back. Back at Supreme Court's Live here, I am joined by Clay Schofield, Senator Clay Schofield, District 9, as you can see on your screen, Blount, DeKalb, Madison, and Marshall counties, and he is also the majority leader for the Senate in the state of Alabama. And he is our sponsor tonight, and we are so glad that that he's here joining us. And Clay, what do you think about this venue and just what we're doing here in your local area?
Oh, it's wonderful. We're lucky to have it. We're lucky to have it. I mean, it provides a lot of opportunities for our young people, great venue for them, but it's not bad to bring in revenue, too. Parents, grandparents, they come in and spend a lot of money in our local area, and we're glad to have them. Welcome them anytime.
Well, you're a small business guy, you know, and being small business, these local events, you know, and all these high school, and both of these high schools are in your district. You know, it's good to see something like this thriving, you know, when a lot of people, you know, Jonathan Hyde had this vision and a lot of people didn't know if it would work, and then now you just see the explosion and all the people that pay attention in the area. How important is that for small business owners and entrepreneurs to go out on their own and take some of those chances?
Oh, it's America. I mean, that's what's made America great is you know, people who have a vision, have an idea for a business, go out, take a risk, you know, get a loan, and you know, work themselves night and day to be successful, and that is really what is the backbone of America, and what's really made our country stand out above a lot of others.
So you're every day, you know, you're in Montgomery a lot, and then you're here, you know, but the grind, would you talk about the grind a little bit of politics? You know, a lot of people want to get on y'all all the time and say what you're not doing instead of, you know, but just what's that daily grind like for you?
It's a busy day. I mean, today we've, you know, filled with a lot of meetings. Obviously, our legislative session starts March 7th. So, you know, between now and then, it's just as hard as you could go. Everybody wants to meet. The state has enjoyed economic success so that we have a good surplus of funds in our budget. So obviously, everybody's got an idea of how to spend it.
Of course they do.
And so, but I can say no with the best of them.
You know, I can kind of, I can kind of see that. I like that.
Yeah, we, you know, we've been really conservative about how we budget with these overages. You know, we're investing in education, we're investing in workforce development, we're investing in our infrastructure, and that's going to provide a better future for our young people, and leave our state in a better place than where we were founded. So I'm really proud of the strategic investments that we've been able to make over the past few years and are continuing to make.
Well, you've been doing this for, you know, around 12 years now, 13 years, and like the state has seen a surplus. Not a lot of states can say that, I wouldn't think.
No, when you know, during COVID, when all those states were shut down and you know, they're having to cut their budgets, slash their budgets. I think Texas cut $1 billion out of their budget.
Phenomenal.
We didn't have to do that in Alabama.
$1 billion?
$1 billion. We didn't have to
B's,
do that.
not M's.
No, billion. Big B.
That's astonishing.
And a lot of other states did. And we were actually, not only did we not have to cut anything, we're able to increase funding in key areas like mental health and public safety and education, and our state's better for it because of the way we put money back and we budget conservative and we don't spend all that we take in. You know,
it seems like that works better than the opposite, right?
Works well in our household, in those small businesses, and I think government ought to function the same way.
Well, I know that you're a huge part of it. It has actually been, I'd like to shake your hand on there. It's been a joy to meet you, and thank you for doing this for us. And I got one last thing for you. Did you have something else you were about to say?
Well, I'm just proud of these two schools.
Yeah.
These two schools are in great communities, and these teams are they're going to Birmingham. I mean, they're
You're all in.
They're all
He's all in, folks.
They're incredible.
You heard it here first. There's your prediction.
Yeah, I mean, they are really good. The communities are great, and they've just spawned some great athletes, and they're fun to watch.
They really are. And so, to my last question, she's got me spot up here off Brazier Chapel Road and Arab. I need some hints, man.
The Big A.
I need some spots in the Big A. I know you. I know you're a former Knight.
Yeah.
Former Knight.
Yeah. Graduated from Arab, and Arab's a great town. It's a great town. It's you're on the mountain, but you're close to the lake, close to state parks, a lot of outdoor stuff.
Yeah.
And you're 30 minutes from Huntsville. It has everything you'd want. I mean, small town feel with, close to a big city. If you're into that sort of thing, I'm not. But
you got whatever you want, basically.
Yeah,
that's what I'm kind of seeing.
Arab's a great spot. I was lucky to grow up there. Really was.
Well, thank you for joining us, man. We can let you get back and enjoy some second half basketball, but look forward to breaking bread when I get up here, man. It's great to meet you.
Sounds good.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you.
See you, man. And we'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back with the second half from Guntersville. Well, folks, Hoopers, we are back for the second half. The clock winding down. Susan Moore up 8 on New Hope as we just had a great interview. I hope y'all all enjoyed that with Clay Schofield. Man, so impressed with him. It's, he talks about the economy of Alabama and the surplus, and he's been a big part of that. That's the reason he's the House Majority Leader. But just can't thank Clay Schofield enough for sponsoring this game and allowing these athletes to compete, these two schools from his district, District 9. Thanks, Clay. See you again soon. So here we go, Callie Smallwood, 1-4 low out of the half, soft touch, just little step back, going for the jugular early right here, looks like, Bo.
That was a huge basket from the standpoint of, like you talking about, we already had the lead, then we go hit this and we push it up over double digits.
Yeah, and New Hope, the second quarter defense of Susan Moore to become more collective in the paint, I think was excellent. And I think you really got to give Hernandez and Brian credit for the job they've done on Callie Yarbrough.
What do you think Coach McGill's message was to the New Hope Indians at halftime?
Well, I think they can get out in transition a little bit, to be honest with you. They haven't seen, when they've gotten out in transition, they've been really good, and that's a tough contested shot right there by Yarbrough. But they're taking the press off now, a little bit of foul trouble, probably don't want to get to someone's quick third, and now you see the wheel action. Again, oh my, Laney Smallwood.
She's a freshman. Somebody check her birth certificate.
That left, man.
I'm not buying this, man.
And
she's a senior.
I'll tell you something. Been watching her a while, and she's got that body language right now. When she gets this body language and she gets this into it and it's going right, there's not many that can keep her from doing what she wants to do. You just got to hope she misses shots.
Look at this.
Take by Kayla Yarbrough, who's a little under the weather tonight. Doesn't look like it the last two possessions. Timeout. Susan Moore.
Let me give you a little bit of advice from what I seen when they played Spring Garden. Same exact thing. She had a tough first half. Kaylee Kurt was guarding her 90 feet, face guarding her. No help. Second half, she gets 2 quick baskets. The next thing you know, she turns it on like a faucet. It's unbelievable. That girl can play. She does not feel good tonight. She's been under the weather, taking meds all week, but still battling through it.
Still battling through it, and you can tell she's got some dog to her. You know, you can tell, like, that one she just made in Callie Smallwood with a hand, like, right up in, that's a tough shot from 17 feet on a step back. But, again, when you have a scorer, a shooter, like a Kaylee Yarbrough, seeing a couple go in always helps. You know, she got the jump shot, got the layup.
World changes.
Oh, my goodness.
You was the scorer, so you know what it is.
How about this 2-3 look now immediately coming out from...
Did they trap off of it, or is it a true
New Hope?
2-3?
Let's see what Coach McGill's got drawn up. No traps yet. Callie Smallwood can be a problem on the elbow area against zones, but that time trying to cut Lainey Smallwood through for a quick layup.
You got to watch Callie doing a dive down the free throw line extended as well. She's so big and physical. She catches it with a head of steam. You're in trouble.
Look at this.
Step back.
Look at the balance. It's the balance, man. I mean, she steps in and she steps back out, gets the puppy set. I mean, just pure shooting from both Smallwood sisters tonight.
This is unbelievable, man. And it's not like they're playing a Sister of Mercy. They're playing a Final Four team. I mean, 4A.
It's just pick your matchup. That's got away with it maybe. Donna might have got hit, maybe not.
Look at this. The general.
Just a little hesitation. The quick twitch, little hesitation. But you know what got that bucket for number 12 right there was the gather. She gathered and made the defender do something, and the defender was off balance and got a bucket. So
if you've ever teed one off, you did in the pregame on this one about her quick twitch and the way she handles herself once the ball's in her hand. Here's the scary part. When she's hitting those threes, which is what she opened up the game to, all that other stuff comes into play, my friend. The floaters, you know, the up and unders, the dribble penetrations. If she's hitting those, that's why I said if she's hitting these threes, it's over.
Well, I heard our good buddy, I hope he don't think I'm stealing it. I'm going to give him credit, Caleb LeBounty, for his, she'll give it to you in a bunch of different flavors.
Yeah.
Bro, she will. She'll hit you out here. She'll post you up. She'll jump hook you. I mean, she's got, and she can pass it, but it's just the calmness. Early in this game, Susan Moore, you know, you saw Lainey, and then you see her right there. You saw her get frustrated, talking with her mom about what happened and this, that. And when they settle in after that timeout, about 2 minutes to go in the first quarter, that's when this whole thing changed. And then all of a sudden, New Hope punches back a little, and then you just put your foot back on them. So
you finally see Yarbrough come alive, and then look at this answer. You know, Yarbrough comes out of the gate and hits 2 baskets back to back. You're on. And then look at this answer by Susan Moore.
Well, and I will say this. I lost 2 state championships, Bo. And there literally isn't not many days go by that I don't think about it. And the hurt that I felt. Susan Moore felt that last year. You know,
Deepest
and just
level, my friend.
And the drive. Not to say they're getting the Final Four. I'm just saying the way they lost that game.
Oh yeah.
I'm seeing some things tonight that really make me believe. Susan Moore is starting to get this engine rolling for that state title run. Because New Hope was dominating early, and now they're not.
Shout out to Jonathan Hyde for providing an atmosphere in which a game like this can take place. Supreme Courts and Gunnersville, unbelievable.
We talked about it numerous times in the first 2, and you don't have. Well, I was talking to someone back in Northwest Alabama, and you were talking about maybe doing some training there, figure it out in conjunction with what's going to be going on here on different days so everybody could come. But there's not a place. There's not a place like this, man. And you see what the level of basketball is doing. It hasn't hurt. It's just continued to grow. And I agree with you. Big shout out to Supreme Courts. Shane McFry as well schedules these games.
Shane McFry is a gangster.
He's a legend. He's the legend that nobody really knows.
I'm going to say a statement right here. Hold on, let's watch this first. Jada Bates trying to give it right back to Lainey Smallwood. I'm going to show you this statement about Shane McFry. He may be one of the most important people behind the scenes in volleyball in the state of Alabama. The tournaments that he holds here, and the games that he holds here, and the camp, the biggest camp in America is held right here at Supreme Court.
It is.
Yep.
I mean,
Fry is the backbone to all that.
And it was the traffic that just comes through here, just and the excitement of the kids want to come. They want to be a part of this atmosphere. The location is great. You know, and I think you're just going to see it continue to grow. So, New Hope is going to need a lot of free throws to go in if they're going to cut down this 11-point lead. Susan Moore comfortably in control since late in the second quarter.
Let's talk about Lacey Floyd a little bit on the glass tonight.
She's got 7 or 8 of them. Oh, look at
that vertical.
She's just an athlete, man.
Laney Smallwood. I'm telling you, these are the type games that when you go from the Gadsden States, the Snead States, to the JSUs, and then you have another game like this on a higher level, then you go from the JSUs to the SECs.
She's got, I think she may hold a Lipscomb, maybe.
She does have a Lipscomb.
But they're all going to be big time. You're going to see her.
Jada Bates has a JSU.
You're going to see it continue with all of them, just like you've seen Ace Austin's level. You're going to see that. You're going to see Ella Watts is a 7th grader. You're going to see her start. That's a smart play by Laney Smallwood, though, not to foul. Could have picked up that extra one. You don't ever, young kids out there, let the players shoot that layup if you're going to foul them, and that foul's going to hurt your team and get you in foul trouble.
Especially when you're having the game you have, lose that battle to win the war.
100%. Love that. Love that terminology. So there, as you mentioned, Bo, coming with the trap. Great skip. Anytime there's a trap, if you can skip against a zone, it has to reset. Good job by Susan Moore running a little clock here.
I'm going to throw something at you right here. Lacey Floyd's vision with her length, throwing out of that zone, out of that press. I mean, out of this 2-3, she's giving them trouble down low because she's so long she can see over it. Watch her when she gets the ball down low.
She gets it, and she's always turning, too. Always turning and looking.
Watch her right here.
That means she's been coached.
Kick it back to her. Watch her. She's a big target.
Oh, she traveled.
Yeah, she did on that one.
Little excited. Seeing her expressions is so good because she knows what she's doing wrong. She didn't mean to do it, no. But one thing that I talked to Natasha Smallwood about yesterday in my pregame call with her, she said there's 3 or 4 games this year lately that Laney has just taken over. Not just from a scoring standpoint, from a rebounding standpoint, from an athleticism standpoint. We may be in the midst of seeing one of those right now.
What a matchup this is.
Good rebound, excellent rebound that time by Hill, doing what she does. And there is Laney Smallwood again. Good look. Man, those things are going almost in every time.
Man. One thing I like about Susan Moore, they're staying really aggressive right here. When they're getting an open look, they're taking it. And I think that's why they have this lead.
Well, there's a timeout on the floor real quick, and we're going to take a break as well. HycheHoops.com. We will be right back. Hope you're enjoying tonight's game on WOTM. All right, folks, we're back here live. New Hope down 11 to Susan Moore. One thing to keep an eye on, Bo, was team fouls for Susan Moore. If that could go in and they could somehow get to the free throw line some, might be able to change the complexion of the game. But you got to make the bunnies.
You got a good point with that, my friend.
That's one thing that I see right now, because that is what killed Susan Moore, and that's what Natasha Smallwood talked about that. She said, we're always vulnerable to foul trouble. It's one of those things that happens. They're not that deep, and that's what pretty much cost them the state championship game last year, was Lainey Smallwood fouling out.
And let me throw this one at you. Susan Moore, although Lainey Smallwood's killing it, they are a senior-laden team right here. So as this game draws on, this is going to be interesting to see this younger New Hope team and how they respond to this situation, being down, you know, over double digits here, closing in on the fourth quarter.
Because that doesn't happen much to them.
How do you coach that? Coach McGill can't coach that.
That's why you play these games.
There's only like a handful of teams in the state could have them in this situation.
Absolutely. So look at this matchup, putting Callie Smallwood and her length on Jada Bates, and Jada Bates just smartly gets to the left hand at a good angle to finish.
With the weak hand finishes.
Yes.
Jada Bates is as advertised, my friend. She is fantastic.
I tell you where she's better than I thought. Oh, that's a foul.
No call.
She's really good at finishing those little hooks in the. But she's going to have to be the engine that gets this thing going.
Yeah.
For the comeback. That needs to go in.
Nope. Look at that.
Shots not falling for the Lady Indians.
See if Lainey's going to pull this one back out. She does.
Running some clock. Little interaction between the officials and the crowd. Fans letting know the official that they are here. Hyche hoops. Very pro-official.
Look at this. Callie again.
Oh, man.
How strong is she?
Just go get you one, girl. You go get it. Off that board, snatch it, and then miss it, and go get it again and then go finish, man.
Just finish like that. I mean,
so tough.
When you look at her, man, you just see somebody who's been through the wars, who's not scared of anybody. She's a grinder, man.
Man, I had some
strong.
This summer. I had some in-depth conversations with her about that loss, and I said, on the floor, I don't mind that call actually, but that's 5 team fouls. Let's just keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on it. But we talked about it, and I told her, I said, you know, there's not a lot of people in the state of Alabama who have lost 2 state championships, and I'm one of them.
That's true.
And I said, you don't want that feeling. And, you know, and then and I just, you know, talked about, you know, and that's the mission she's on, to, you know, in a sense. So you don't have to deal with that hurt again.
And you know, it's so hard to imagine all the work, all this dedication. Your family, your mom's your coach, your sister plays with you, your teammates are like sisters. What was that locker room like after that loss last year? Oh my God, heartbreaking, man.
I just. The feeling, it's unlike any I've ever, a gut punch feeling, because you don't ever go into a state championship game thinking you're gonna lose it. I mean, you just don't.
No.
I mean, ever, and like especially we never. We didn't make enough plays and didn't play well enough to win in either one. Got blown out my senior year. They made enough plays.
Yeah.
She made every play she had to make without her little sister that had fouled out.
Yeah.
But so we got some time with the officials here. I don't know what they're discussing, but tell me about Average Joe's and how much fun you're having, man.
I'm having fun, but I'm telling you something, man. We're working, dude.
I see you grind.
It's working, man. I've got 5 of the best photographers in the state and videographers, and they're at games right now while we're here. And it's a special time for us because these kids and these schools are providing us content. We're just giving the content back to them. It's providing myself a platform. This is my full-time job now. So it's unbelievable just to be around and know these. How can I go know this one right here, Kelly Yarbrough, on cue, getting to know someone like her and Jada, and then Callie and Lainey, I know them all equally. And bringing that bridge together in a platform where they can share each other's content is what Average Joe's is all about. And the Lord's blessed me in a way where it's my full-time job. So
yeah,
I appreciate the shout out.
Oh man, of course. And it is it's powerful when you see kids smile, and I think that's what you're providing to so many, and I'm just glad we can be a part of it.
I got to shout these two guys out especially. Reggie and Josh, the two original guys from Average Joe's, who's been grinding all these years behind the scenes. It's not a bragging statement, but now it's cool to join Average Joe's.
It is, yeah,
but
I see that.
They were there when it was not cool, when we were getting made fun of, and they've grinded through all that. Those two guys are straight-up grinders, Josh Abercrombie and Reggie Davis. And I love those two guys to death like brothers, man. And they're part of the reason, I mean, big part of the reason why we're here today.
Well, I know you enjoy it. Look at this post-up opportunity for Smallwood. Gets that call there. While we were talking about the success and just how great Average Joe's has been, we had a little conflict. The officials couldn't really see and tell, but Natasha Smallwood was not happy that the ball went back to New Hope, and so immediately, I love the play call, though. You get a stop, and then you come down. You know, that three right there goes in for Kayla Yarbrough toward the end of this quarter. You know, this thing could get, but then immediately Natasha Smallwood comes down, gets the ball in, runs a back screen, gets Callie in the post, and she gets to the line comfortably back up 13, 15 seconds to go in the quarter.
You know, on a normal day when she wasn't sick, a lot of these threes she shots wouldn't go in. So that's definitely played into this game a little bit. What are they going to call here, moving? Yeah, they are.
And it was a moving screen on Ballard, looked like down it, but like Natasha Smallwood, I love watching her manipulate a game. I've seen her for years, as you see her there now. Callie Smallwood is guarding Jada Bates, the senior on the freshman, just for length. And occasionally it's going to happen to where but I love watching these teams compete and watching them coach.
And look, it gives Jada Bates something else to think about.
100%.
She's getting comfortable with some of these other girls on her. Now she's got an all-state girl, you know, who scored 36 or 38 in the finals.
What was we're on air, but what was our call? We didn't.
Since Black touched it first, it wasn't backcourt. So since Black touched it first, we had to go with Black, even though it probably looks bad.
Yeah.
By rule, it's got to go with Black.
By rule, that was the circumstance.
They touched it first.
Got it. Thank you for the explanation. And Natasha Smallwood was extremely upset. But here's the thing, and you know, let's talk about officials real quick, because it got a little rough. Like, you know, the relationship was a little sandpaper on it with the officials and Susan Moore, both these teams here, there. Now you look up, you have a controversial call, you have a couple things, and the game is dictated that now we're at 5-5 foul total. But the referees, I really think, did a good job with that whole deal.
Let me throw this at you. The best officiated games when you don't even know they're there.
Years. Been saying that for years, man.
Ken Washington at the ASHA made the announcement at media days for the state this year. They were down 1,000 officials in all sports combined.
Oh, I totally believe that.
So that's why Average Joe's, we try to put a positive spin on all officials. Even though there's a lot of negative out there, we put on all positive, because we want these guys to get better. We want it to get better as a core. Natasha's still arguing. Look at that. How awesome is that? With this lead still.
Oh, she didn't like that, and she ain't having it until she hears what she wants to hear now.
Look at her.
Just so intense, man.
Look at this.
She wants to take that shot.
She a freshman? Come on now, dude.
But at that time, back with Hill on her, she's more comfortable shooting that shot without the length. You'll probably see Callie Smallwood go back. But it's a pick your poison. If you put Smallwood on, you don't want to get in foul trouble.
That's right.
This is an easy take here. Yeah, that's too easy. Yeah, that's a bad matchup for New Hope. Callie Smallwood just way too physical, going into the spin cycle for the left hand off the glass.
Look at this. Oh.
So Ballard will go to the free throw line. Edie.
Nice body, nice length on her, man.
Yes.
She's actually under control with her spin move.
She was, and where she placed the ball allowed for the foul to happen.
She's only a sophomore, correct?
She is only a sophomore, and she's an excellent volleyball player. As you can probably see with her length. She is only a sophomore and won't do anything but get better.
She's in the right system.
Down to 11.
Look at this matchup.
Early in this fourth.
Switching ball screens. There's her length. We talked about
and that's what she does. Oh, that's what she did last year a couple times in that tournament. She ain't afraid to make a timely bucket.
We talked about Lacey Floyd's length and how it's giving them trouble from the passing standpoint. This time, from a bucket standpoint, when she catches it and anybody on her back's not in or around her range, she's just got an open look. It is what it is.
Susan Moore feeds the post well too. Their perimeter players include Callie Small. They're ready to make the pass. Young kids out there, when you're looking in the post, you got to be in a position to be ready to make the pass, because as you go up levels, you ain't got that long to throw that thing in there.
Right. Let me ask you another question. Here's a little hidden gem for you. How many of these girls you hadn't seen with high risk, hold your follow through, perfect backspin on their free throws? Well coached in all aspects of the game.
Extremely well coached. And speaking of well coached, Marissa Bryan doing what she does and just powering to the basket.
May I ask you a question? How physical is Susan Moore?
Well, that was one we talked this summer. To Natasha here one day, I was talking about the fact that they got somewhat out-physicaled, out-lengthed against Prattville Christian. And even though Prattville Christian will not be in 3A this year, they learned from that, and they got in the weight room. And you can tell their girls have gained some weight, and they're more athletic and quicker.
She's just
tough, man.
Thanks, man.
Well, she ain't going to quit.
Golly. I called her a spark plug in the opening lineup, and I meant every word of it, my friend. Look at this.
Yeah.
That is, I'm not going to say this is a man's move, but if she was a guy, that was a man's play right there.
I mean, this is
one-handed grab.
I call it grown folks move. That's a grown folks move.
Look at her digging in on defense right here, motivating her teammates.
Well, she's the senior, and it means something to her.
Watch her move her feet. Look at Yarborough behind the back.
That was a tough. Yeah, I think that was tough. But that's, you know, speaking of Marissa Bryan earlier, that's her specialty is toughness, and she gets called for the foul there. So both teams will be going into the bonus now, 7-7. But I like your point about Floyd. You know, I remember her from last year. She's a creaser. I call them creasers. She finds creases to the basket and finds ways to get her body manipulated to where she can make baskets. That's a way to trust your teammate right there. I love that pass by Callie Smallwood.
Absolutely.
Trust your senior teammate.
They look like banshees out there on defense, man. Did you see that?
And there's Lainey Smallwood there with just the quickness.
This is a matchup colleges want to see right here. Look at this.
Going 1-4 low.
Look at this. Look at this. Oh, man.
I want to see her. I like it.
I know.
But I want to see the blow by, because I don't think there's anybody that can stay in front of her. But hey, she hasn't had a lot of touches, hasn't had a lot of, you know, and I was look, man, a lot of times when I ain't had a touch, I ain't got me one up. That thing to me is going up, bro.
It's going up, my friend. Look at this.
Playing out of the high post, going to have a back cut and then a wheel. Nice little pitch, very simple, and one. Big bucket. Man. And look how excited Susan Moore is, the bench. You were talking earlier. Look at the language now. Earlier it was New Hope.
That's right.
Everyone was excited into it. Now it's Susan Moore. And that is your senior, Caitlin Hill, off a handback. Play from Callie Smallwood.
We talked about her being a general on the floor. It's good to see her get that basket. Look at, man, this is a good basketball game.
It's a good basketball game. I'm just, I'm very impressed with Susan Moore. And it's not that I'm not impressed with New Hope. Susan Moore has just really dug in and gotten some things done. Look at that block out, Floyd. Floyd can be a problem on the interior in 3A. The punch they have on the interior, then you add this toughness on the perimeter, senior guards, defense, and a phenomenal freshman. Susan Moore maybe have eased into being my favorite in 3A to win it.
Look at this. Now she's going to step out.
Step it out.
Come on.
Won't you go on and step out, too? Just step out and get you one.
Right on cue.
Step out and get you one.
We're talking about her damage she's doing on the inside. Then she steps back and hits the top of the key.
No, she might have hurt us.
She probably did.
She hurt us, and she said, oh, okay. It's like that.
Show these cats what I'm all about. Look at this. It's not her night tonight, man.
Following the game, I will be joined by a winning coach and a winning player. We'll do them individually. That's a dagger.
Look who it is with the left. Look who it is with the left. Lacey Floyd with the offensive rebound, back up and in with the left.
Young kids out there, snatch the ball, jump and rebound toward the basket, snatch it out in front of you. That's what she did, and the reason that she got the rebound is because she did it that way.
Bart, did you ever see that ball come below her head?
Yeah. But she attacked it from the middle, like straight out from her shoulders. And she was just going to go get that one.
That's right.
So now you'll see clock, 23-point lead for Susan Moore. So impressive in the last 3 quarters.
Here she comes again. Oh, I was like, if she hits this.
Yeah, Coach Smallwood is like, we can't
You don't need that right now.
Well, it's a settle, you know, and that's one thing that as a young player you have to learn, time and score and settle. Especially, you want that to be a 3 or a 2. And she was on the line, and that's just one of those to where you don't practice that when you don't shoot it a lot. Time and score, kids out there. Time and score.
Mom. She does.
Now she's listening.
Yeah, she does leave the game at the court, and she becomes mom when she goes home. But she's going to talk about those kind of things. Attention to detail is what the great coaches have.
They do. I agree with that. And I asked her that question. I said, is there ever a time you switch it on to mom? Or I said, has it morphed into Coach Mom? Or you just Coach Mom? Is it Mom Coach? And she said, we're all basketball and we're just a family with everything. But she said the basketball connection that they have, her husband and her daughters, is just great. And right on cue, the spark plug, Lainey Smallwood, star of stars tonight.
She is killing it, man. Nice pass. I'm telling you, Susan Moore is going to be a tough out in 3A in that Northeast Regional, which they have moved to this year. But if you want to talk about something spectacular, imagine them in Plainview hooking up over there in Jacksonville.
I mean, I think that's a collision course, and I think those two teams, from what I've seen, I haven't seen everyone, from what I've seen, that game could be for the state championship.
Oh, my God. I think Trinity from the South is going to say they got a problem.
Have not seen them.
But I will say this, Trinity.
St. James-ish, maybe.
Trinity's one of those teams that people's kind of deemed this year the team, but you got to do it between those lines, my friend. We got to see you do it between these lines.
This thing has ballooned to 25 points. That's how quickly it happened. They can score it in bunches, man. But I'll tell you why they've won this game. They start again, stops.
Yep.
That's why they won the game. They just dug in, and Natasha at halftime, they started at the second quarter, and she said, we're going to go get this thing.
If you told me before this game started, one of these two teams was going to win by 25, I would ask you to go to the hospital and get your head examined. There's no way.
Again, a great thanks out to Clay Schofield, District 9, representing DeKalb, Marshall, Blount, and Madison counties. House Majority Leader joined us at the half. You didn't see the interview, get back online. We'll have everything up, WOTM. We'll have the game up, HycheHoops.com. It'll be up on there. It'll be on Bart Hyche Facebook. But we're going to do more of these. Not sure if we'll be back to Guntersville this year or not. Still got some things in the works, but it's getting playoff time, man. It just seems like you were just at the state football championship. Now you're getting ready for the area tournaments of basketball.
My season ends when the final horn sounds in the final football game and the final press conference. And then I was already into basketball before that happened. Caleb Brooks and I went to the Super 7 and finished up. And last year, you're not going to believe this, but I personally covered 67 games in 2 weeks, including Jacksonville in the Final Four.
That's impressive, man.
Well, it was impressive until my head was vibrating.
Agreed, but it's why things are happening, and I'm
changed a lot of lives, actually.
I'm glad this is all working. The Lord's working this out the way that He is, and I couldn't be more excited to see where our futures are going.
And something I'm excited about is Hyche Hoops, because there's a bridge that needs to be built in the west part of the state over here. It's the only,
Listen up, folks.
Place that we're not in with Average Joe's.
There's a lot of stuff going on.
There's some meat on the bone over there, my friend.
There is, and I'll say this to everyone.
Tuscaloosa, Winfield, all that area, man.
As we've got I want to get some mentions here. We've got Liley Dewberry in the game. We also have Sadie Saxon in the game. There's a three-pointer shot by Kirsten Ingram. Also Allie Holland in the game. Mallory Holland, Victoria Calderon. Well, folks, we're done. And thank you for the Hyche Hoops shout-out. We are working toward a lot of good stuff, and it's just going to get even better. But we're building bridges, man. And I really enjoyed doing this game with you tonight, and I'm sure we're going to be doing very many more.
Very soon, buddy.
Hyche Hoopers, welcome back here to Supreme Courts. We are live post-game. Old Waverly bringing you the post-game report, and Mossy Oak Golf Club, www.mossyoakgolf.com. And I am joined by star of stars. I don't know, there was a couple of Smallwood stars tonight. There's a couple of Smallwood stars tonight, but I think you played really well.
Thank you.
Early, y'all didn't have the mojo like you usually do. What was up?
I mean, nothing really. They just came out with the intensity and stuff. We made a few little dumb mistakes, but I mean, we got over it. It's probably like the beginning jitters or something. I don't know.
Explain how you get over it. Does that happen in a timeout? Does that happen with your mom? Does it happen with senior leadership? I mean, how did y'all turn it around? Because they were taking early in the game. They were the aggressor. We talked about it, and then all of a sudden, just changed.
Yeah, I mean, when she called the first time out, she told us, we were like, it's just the game. You got to get over it. You got to go out there and you got to hustle. She told us before that defense was going to win the game, so that's what we knew that we had to go out there and do, and that's what we did.
Well, you certainly did, and I loved how y'all mixed it up and put different links and different folks on Jada. She was hurting y'all early, but I thought you did a great job on Kayla Yarbrough, too. Talk about the defensive plan a little bit and how y'all started executing it.
Oh, our plan all along was just to keep her single digits. I don't know if we did it, but I know that she didn't have 20. So,
right.
I mean, that's really like all that we did on it. And so we just said it, when you see a screen, help each other out, and if they can get through it, get through it. And so that's just what we did.
I want you to speak real quick to the young kids out there, because your balance and where you are with your jump shot and just the repetitiveness of it every time is as pretty as there is in the state, Callie. It really is. And how much work have you done on that? Like, why is the balance? Why is it always in the shooting pocket when you catch it? Why are you ready? I guess my point is, how have you developed your footwork to be so good on the catch?
Well, honestly, it's just a lot of practice, really. I mean, before the training that I do with Brian and everything, that's where I get like the footwork from, the ladders, and just the constant practicing. It just is a practice that you have to do if you want to be good at it.
That's where I was going.
Yeah.
You got to put the burn in, right? You got to put the work in. All right. We talked about this in off season. I brought it up on air. It's no fun to lose a state championship.
No, it
like
does
we've
not.
talked about. I lost 2 of them, man. But like we also talked about, you have that opportunity to not ever have that feeling again.
Yeah.
Is this team approaching that run? Is this team where you want it to be right now, or what do y'all have to work on to get there?
Well, with the way that we played tonight, I would say that we are getting there. If we continue to play like this, and we have our county tournament next week, which our county is. There's 2 good teams, but it's just not. That,
You should win it.
Yes,
You
yes.
should win it.
I don't know how to word that, but and then after we have Locust Fork again at Locust Fork, and then we play Good Hope at Good Hope. So we have some good competition and everything, and right before postseason play, the Good Hope is a good team to end our regular season on.
Yeah.
So but if we keep playing it the way we're playing, I like the way that it would turn out if we keep playing like this.
I do too. I totally agree with you that if this team plays like this, especially defensively and on the backboards, and you make timely shots, and Lainey played great tonight. Say a little, look, before I let you out here, say a little word about your sister and those big shots that she made and your other teammates.
Yes, she did make. This win was definitely a team win.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Lainey wouldn't get the shots that we get without the point guard or without Lacey, number 2, on the boards, because she rebounded amazing tonight.
Huge game. Made a couple of shots, stepped out too.
Yes. And so, it's just a team effort, and me and Lainey wouldn't be able to do what we do without our team. So that's really all I have to say about it. But she did make some good, she made some good moves to the basket, and Lainey is tough to box out. Okay, Lainey is tough to box out.
I saw her a couple, and I'm starting to notice it. She's quick twitch. Brian and I have talked about that. Just how she can out-quick you, but she's got length and she can jump. Yeah.
It's mainly because she can jump. She just gets that run and go, and she jumps, and she just jumps so high. And in practice, she is hard to box out.
Well, I'm sure you're probably hard to box out too, and so that's making her better having to go against you every once in a while, I would think. Yeah,
I guess. I got some cheap foul call on me at the very beginning of the game.
Hey, we're pro referee here at HycheHoops.com, but I agree with you.
That was freaking better out for being weak.
But you're talking about early in the game.
Yes, in the first minute of the game.
I actually mentioned it, and we saw it.
I made an elbow, I don't know.
You extended, and it was but it was one of those to where it probably wasn't. It did look like one, just because they're not used to people getting thrown across the lane like that, Callie. Can't just go in there. It was a clean play, but I do remember the call you're talking about. But thank you for joining me. You continue to impress. You're such a great person, and we look forward to you continuing to have success, in this state tournament, and hopefully you get all those dreams that you want for you at Montebello.
Yes, me too.
Thank
you.
We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with her mom, Coach Natasha Smallwood. All right, Hyche Hoopers, we are back here with a great post-game interview brought to you by MossyOakGolf.com. It's where I'm a member, and I'd recommend anybody go northeast Mississippi to play golf. But we are joined here with Coach Natasha Smallwood. Wow. The defensive performance in the last 24 minutes of this game What'd you say to him?
Well, before the game, like at practice yesterday, I told the girls, if we can keep them in the 40s, scoring in the 40s, we'll win this ball game. And the girls, when I took them out 2 minutes to go, or actually, 30 seconds to go, they were like, Coach, look at the score.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, 40, ended up 44. But I knew it was going to come down to defense. We had to play defense. And we held Kaylee to 3 points the first half, but then Jada scored 14. So
Right.
I told them, they're great players, but we did have a game plan, and we kind of stuck to it, being in help side as much as we can in the paint, leaving a few girls, open on the three.
Right.
But to defend Kaylee and Jada, that's what we had to do. And the girls executed the plan exactly how we planned it yesterday. So I know we got in a few, foul trouble, which took us out of a little bit of our game as far as, getting to play really tight on them. But they did exactly what I asked them to do.
The energy wasn't there like I've seen from y'all to start the game. I saw it one time, and we talked about it in a summer game here at Supreme Courts. But it switched, and I think it really switched when, as you and I talked about a couple times this year, Lainey has just taken the game over.
Yeah.
And she did it in the second quarter.
She did.
And the thing is, she did it in different ways tonight. She did it on the boards tonight. She did it on the break tonight. But when she made those 2 or 3 threes, that got everybody's energy
it gave
going.
us
and
a
then
ton
it was
of momentum.
a huge lift.
Yes.
You have to be happy with her progression in her freshman year, right?
Yes, absolutely. And in games like this, she thrives for that competition. Like, she thrives for it. Now, thankfully, she was hitting those threes, which gives her a ton of momentum, and she just keeps, looking for it. And but yeah, she just comes ready to compete, and she was ready tonight. But definitely proud of her.
Speak to those seniors, including your daughter. Callie's going to be Callie. She was on air and she was still upset about the early in the game call.
The first foul.
And it probably wasn't, but you know what? She's so strong. Sometimes it looks like it is.
Exactly.
And I mean, in the defense, I'm not going to defend the officials tonight.
Don't. Let's not do that. They're good. It's all right.
But what I'm saying is, like, those seniors, they know their roles. Hill, Floyd.
Oh, yes, they do.
And Brian, I thought defensively was huge tonight. Her and Hernandez, how they came in.
Oh, absolutely.
And both guarded Kaylee and gave her different looks. But speak to those seniors a little bit and just how you want this thing to get to where y'all were last year and give them that gift.
Well, all year you hear the outside noise from everybody. It's your year. It's your year. This is the year. And my thing is one game at a time.
It's got to be.
One game at a time. The focus is the next game. That's it. Now, as a coach, yes, I know where we kind of need to be, at this stage of the game, and as the season rolls on, things that I knew we had to get better at, things that we had to work on in each game. But keeping our mind on that next game, working on improving each game, whatever that, whatever that may be in that particular game. These girls, they're coachable. They listen.
Tell that.
And they do their role, and they understand it. And I've never had to tell them I need more effort, because they give it. So they've been a huge part of our program. They've loved the game for many years, and the final year is now, and they love each other. They love to go to battle with each other, and so it's exciting to see them progressing in their senior year the way they are right now. And this game was huge for us, just because it was really high competition. On this type of stage, if you say, and then performing the way they did and having the fun together, it was nice to see.
I've enjoyed getting to know you this summer, and I enjoyed calling the state championship game last year. But just y'all played tonight. That's probably the state championship game. Y'all played well. Y'all didn't lose that game. Somebody just didn't get to win it.
Yes, right.
that's the best performance. The last 3 quarters of this game for your girls tonight were powerful.
Well,
that was a good team you
and
just
the
beat.
thing about that I've really tried to get over to our team, younger girls, older girls, it's a mindset.
Totally.
A mindset. You know, call the timeout. It's, you know, New Hope has a fast start. Looks like they're fixing to just, you know, run over us. And the girls, we're good. We're good. They know it's a 4-quarter game.
Yes.
4-quarter game. And there's always games of runs. I mean, we go on a run, they go on a run. That's how basketball works. You just got to stay focused for the whole 4 quarters. And,
You do.
And they did.
Well, I'm anxious. I can't wait for the playoffs to start. I can't believe it's already here. But thank you
Yes.
for being
Yes,
such a
thank
lover of
you.
basketball and what you're doing at a small school. It means a lot to so many people I know in the community, and we enjoy watching you coach, and we enjoy you being friends with Hyche.
Yes.
So,
well, thank y'all.
Coach Natasha Smallwood and her Susan Moore Lady Bulldogs with a powerful win tonight over New Hope. And we'll be right back and tell you about what games we got coming tomorrow night. All right, folks, closing it down here at Supreme Courts. Not many folks left in the gym. Even all my partners have left me. Players have left me. Bo Starkey's left me. It's just me sitting here. But wanted to come back tonight and tell all of y'all about what's going on in Hackleburg, Alabama, Northwest Alabama tomorrow night. The Marion County Tournament 2023. Don't know who the teams will be yet. But it's more than likely Hamilton, Winfield on the girls' side, and it is too close to call on the boys. Marion County's boys, state title contender, will be in there, we're pretty sure. So we will stream live on HycheHoops.com and also on my Facebook page. It will also be on WOTM tomorrow night. The broadcast will start at 5:30 for the girls' game, and then at 7 p.m. Or as close to it as we can. We'll tip the boys off. But we hope you all enjoyed this tonight. And what we're trying to do, it's a high-level game. It did get out of hand at the end from a point standpoint. But this is what basketball is all about, and the momentum that we have. Spread the word. When we send stuff out on Facebook and social media, our Eagle Productions crew that does an amazing job. They're the reasons we get to do this. And guys like Brian Domelick and Jonathan Hyde and everybody's partnering together to make this thing great. But I wanted to thank everyone, but share everything on Facebook, man, and let's get people watching this basketball. So we will be in my stomping grounds tomorrow night in Hackleburg. And so thank y'all all for being here. Another shout out to Clay Schofield. We really appreciate you putting this together for us. And Old Waverly and Mossy Oak Golf Club, mossyoakgolf.com. as always, is one of our big sponsors. But we will see you guys tomorrow night from Hackleburg in Northwest Alabama. Until then, Hyche Troops out.
Your free consultation and let him create that winning smile.
And you see the faithful for Susan Moore. All of the young people who have made that trip. Right now, their team is trying to claw their way back into this one. Foul situation will be paramount going in to the last 4 minutes of this game. And we'll get to that momentarily. Shooting the free throw and missing that one.
But you get to set your pressure up.
No doubt.
Because you press misses. Good
Avery
job.
Rogers goes strong. Coco goes strong and a foul. And she'll be shooting 2.
Wow, these fouls are going to come into play. That looks like it's 4.
That'll be 4 on Lacey Floyd, along with Marissa Bryan, who has 4. Only person with 4 for